A Wolf's Tale by Zen Life to you. Darren had just returned from the carnival with a broken leg, and he just said, my leg, it hurts. And Spirit replied, no, move so fast. And when he actually limped and limped and limped, he made it back home. And as he made it back home, he saw his father passed out on the couch, drunk, lazy, and a good-for-nothing redneck, like he always was to his own son. And as they made it to his room, Spirit had managed to go to the cabinet in his bathroom, get bandages, and wrap him up with his leg. And as he came, he actually transformed back into his own self as a wolf. Darren had said, wow, I can't believe it. You can transform into a wolf and a human. This is really amazing. As he transformed back into a wolf, he heard his dad get up, and Darren had managed to go back into bed to pretend to sleep. And as he heard the door open forcefully, his dad said, are you asleep, boy? I hope you are. Because if you aren't, I'm going to give you a whipping that you'll deserve. As he pulled the covers, he saw that Darren was awake. So you aren't sleeping. What's with all those bandages, huh? And as Darren then replied in a shaky voice, I fell. Fell where? I fell in the woods. What were you doing out in the woods this late? You know it's late. You're supposed to be in bed. As Darren then replied, well, it's just... As he then actually felt the forcible whip of his belt. Again and again and again. After he felt that pain, Darren then felt that sting. And as he was about to get his fourth whip, Spirit ran in, and then he barked. And then growled with anger. And then, as he did that, Darren said, boy, no. As the dog actually growled more. And then his father then replied, you trying to bark at me, dog? I'm going to show you something to bark about. As he then felt the whips, the dog then actually tried to bite the belt. And as he bit the belt, he grabbed it out of his hands. And then the father then said, you ain't wasting my time. I have more time than this. I'm going to go back to sleep. You win this round. But next time, I'm going to get you and I'm going to put you down as well, dog. As Darren then actually went to sleep, Spirit then laid next to him, feeling safe, without any pain or any guilt. And as he slept through the night, he woke up in the morning, prepared his breakfast, and after that prepared his father's breakfast. And as he finished eating, he left his father's breakfast on the table. And then he ran out so that way he could make it to his bus. And as he made it to his bus, he then said, Spirit, I need you to stay at home. As Spirit then said no. He then said, fine, but you gotta be a human. And as he transformed into a human, he went back on the bus with him with his normal clothing, and so did Spirit. And as he was his own self, he managed to at least enjoy the ride. And as he made it to the school, the bell rang, and then the teacher said, good morning, class. We are going to be having an assignment today. Today, we are going to be studying ancestors from the spirit world. As you may know, the spirit world is known to be many things, from Indian tribes to different kinds of actual religions. And as I actually complete this assignment, I need you to have a partner. Darren, you will be partnered with your cousin. As Darren then said, okay. They both completed the assignment. And as Spirit then looked at the book, he saw a bunch of wolves that looked familiar to him. He pointed to one and then said, Ancestor. Then Spirit then was amazed by the pictures as he looked through every single page, looking at every single Indian and every single wolf that he knew. He knew that this was his tribe, and then Darren then said, Wow, I didn't know that much about you. This is really you? He then shook his head with amazement. As Darren then said, What are you doing, boy? As he then showed him his wrist, there was markings, the same markings that were on the book, and he was amazed. He saw the year. Wow, you were born that year? In the 1900s? No, the 1800s. He then shook his head, yes. Oh my God, you're that old? How old are you? He put his fingers up. He put 2 and 7. You're 27? 0, 0, 0. As he then said, You're 27,000 years old? But 27,000 years old would actually have to be 20. So you're 20? He then shook his head. And as he did that, he then said, Yeah. Yes. As Darren then heard the bell ring, it was lunchtime. And as he made his way to the cafeteria, where he heard a lot of children his age were eating and conversating amongst each other. And one particular girl that he knew he liked came up to him and said, Hi, you must be Darren. Darren then replied, Hi, Samantha. Samantha was actually a girl that he liked and that he always admired, because there was a bunch of popular kids that were a bunch, and he was not invited to the popular table mostly often. Samantha was part of the popular table, but he was never invited. Samantha had the courage to come up to Darren and then said, So, there's a party going on, and plus I wanted to invite you, even though Nathan doesn't want to. And as that happened, Darren then noticed that he was so excited. So, you're gonna invite me. What about Nathan? As he then was nervous, sweat went down his face. And then she said, Well, don't worry about Nathan. I got this covered. I'll make sure he doesn't pick on you. Not unless your cousin wants to step in. As he then noticed that he was being noticed by his cousin, which was Spirit. Spirit then said, I protect Darren. Wow, your cousin does like you a lot. I'll invite him too, just to make sure that you're safe. I'll see you soon at the party. Bye. As she laughed, Darren then said, Can you believe it, Spirit? We got invited to a popular party. Yes, Spirit said. I can't wait for this party. It's going to be a blast. Spirit then nodded his head. Sorry I've been gone so long, guys. I've been trying to at least get the story in order because of school and work. They've been actually interfering with me to read the story to you guys. And now I'm back in the swing of it because I'm into Spirit, and I actually want to read you Spirit and Darren's story. Also, I've been working with 2 other people that are going to be voicing over, and hopefully you guys can hear more of the story, because you never know what life's going to give you, especially when you're listening to a wolf's tale and plus reading a story. So I'll see you guys soon. Bye guys.